They even tried to kill him.
He just tried to kill President Trump.
Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again.
That is a phenomenal ad. It is the final day before actual election day, and so the campaigns have released their final ads to make the final pitch for the final undecided. Seriously, who out there is undecided at this point? The way they're making their final ads and their final pitch, though, is incredibly telling about the priorities of these campaigns and what kind of presidents they will be should they win. We will start with the 45th president of the United States wanting to be the 47th president, Donald Trump's final campaign ad. Take a look.
Nothing worth doing ever came easy.
Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation.
Never, ever quit. Never quit. Adversity makes you stronger. Don't give in, don't back down, and never stop doing what you know is right.
They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedoms. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way.
When they couldn't beat him, they tried to bankrupt him.
President Trump is back in a New York City courtroom.
When that didn't work, they tried to put him in federal prison.
Raided by the FBI.
When that didn't work, they even tried to kill him.
He just tried to kill President Trump.
Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again.
This is Donald Trump's house, brother.
This election, we all get to choose. I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American badass. The 45th and soon to be 47th President Donald J. Trump.
Starting on day one, we will defeat inflation quickly and we will make America affordable again. I will cut your energy costs in half. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break. We are going to bring back the American dream, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. When I'm back in the White House, we will restore world peace, and it will be again peace through strength. I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. And we'll put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America.
We all salute the same great American flag. Our best days are yet to come.
Together, we will make America great again.
Dude, that is a phenomenal ad. Do you feel it? Are you feeling right? All right. So why do I love this ad? Let me break it down for you. The first is in the first section, they take all of the lawfare, the criminal trials, the Mar-a-Lago ad, the attempts to throw him in jail, the attempts to bankrupt him. They take all of those things that the left and the Democrats and the deep state and all of the things that they've tried to do to stop him, that they thought would defeat him, that they thought would make him so unlikable and so, impossible to run for re-election again or to run for president again. All those things, all the things they threw at him because they thought it would finish him and destroy him. He took all of that and used it for himself. He used it to boost him up, right? He took their fire, their attacks on him and turned it back on them. I love that. He's not trying to hide. He's not trying to pretend none of it happened. No, in fact, he wants to remind you that all of that happened. And then, of course, the images of the assassination attempt as well. It just builds up. It's like they keep going after him and he's still there for you and he's still fighting. All right, so that's number one. Number two, when he shows the images of his presidency, he shows the images of, going to the Army Navy game and the jets flying overhead and basically wearing the trappings of office. See, it evokes, first of all, a positive image of the presidency that we all remember from just 4 years ago. it evokes for all of us the memory of like, oh, that's right. When he was president, it was like a really different feel here than we've had for the last 3.5 years, where 39% of Americans think we're on the wrong track right now. And so it evokes, you don't have to imagine what it'll be like when he's president, because they keep telling you, oh, if he's president, he's going to shred the Constitution and it'll be Hitler and it'll be a totalitarian. And he's actually using the imagery of his presidency to remind you exactly, no, you don't have to be afraid of that. He's already been president. He didn't do those things, right? If he's going to be Hitler when he's president, why wasn't he Hitler last time he was president? It's so stupid, these attacks. And then finally, he specifically says, see, the people in this country, they want to change. That's clear. Kamala Harris is even knows that because she's acting like she's the change president. Turn the page, new way forward. Please, she's part of the problem, right? People want to change and they want it fast. And he specifically there said, here's what I'll do. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And you know he can because he did it last time. So I think that's just such a home run. It's a great final ad for anybody who is undecided. It's hard to dispute exactly what he throws out there for you. And this ad is about feelings. It's about, ads are supposed to do that. It's supposed to evoke feelings. And that evokes some pretty strong, patriotic, and determined sort of feelings about where we need to go and who can take us there. All right, that takes us to Kamala Harris's final ad. You tell me the message that this is conveying to you.
Come here, Hannah. Shake my hand. How you doing?
Good.
And bring everybody back together.
And that's exactly how I feel.
That's what I'm doing, man.
Okay, you have to stay in touch with me, okay? I'm very serious about that.
Love to.
Okay. Throughout this campaign, I've seen the best of America, and I've seen what is holding you back and weighing you down. High costs, fundamental rights taken away, and politics that have driven fear and division. You deserve better. As president, I'll bring a new generation of leadership. I'll take on price gouging and bring down the cost of groceries and housing and prescriptions. I'll fight for your freedom to make your own choices, and I will protect your health care and your benefits, not take them away. The vast majority of people in our country have so much more in common than what separates them. Good people, hardworking people. We see in our fellow Americans neighbors, not enemies. We believe in each other. We believe in our country. We're not falling for these folks who are trying to divide us. Together, we'll build a brighter future for our nation, where we stand for freedom. We stand for justice. We stand for the dignity of work. We haven't yet quite reached all of those ideals, but we will die trying because we love our country. Now, the baton is in our hands. I pledge to seek common sense solutions to make your life better. And I pledge to be a president for all Americans. Now I'm asking for your vote. Because as president, I will get up every day and fight for the American people. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
All right. So, and listen, it's not a bad ad, and nor should it be a bad ad, considering the money they have to work with, right? You would think it would be polished and would be good. What struck me, though, is the negative tone compared to the Trump ad. Trump didn't mention Joe Biden or Kamala Harris in his ad. Did you notice that? Now, she didn't mention Trump, but probably 40% of the content and arguments that she was making about why she should be president were about, vote for me because I'm not going to be like him, right? Or the perception that she has of him or what she's trying to convey, So it was very much I'm not going to be Trump is basically the message there without actually mentioning Trump's name, where Trump didn't actually do that at all. He could have, but he didn't. I found that interesting. The fact that Tim Walz was there in a couple of shots, but actually didn't say anything, unlike J.D. Vance, who was actually featured in the Trump ad, was interesting. But then all of the other policies, the unspoken message that needs to be, any single voter in this country watching that ad talking about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And everybody watching it is like, why aren't you doing it now? You're sitting there, you know, you've got the vice president's seal on your podium. You've got a job. Are you telling me that you've taken these ideas to Joe Biden and Joe Biden has said, no, Kamala, I'm not going to do all these great things that'll bring down grocery prices? Right? And then, so it's interesting. I have a theory about a politician who spends all their time saying, you know, people are trying to divide us. People are trying to divide us. People are trying to divide us. Here's her final ad, and she spends half of it talking about how she's going to bring us together because there are other people trying to divide us. Well, when you spend all your time accusing the other side of dividing our country, you're actually dividing our country. I think that the message that's conveyed to people viewing this ad is one of division. I see that ad and I think, why are you dividing us with this ad that is supposedly about how the other guy is dividing us? Well, the second your message is the other guy is doing X, Y, and Z, you're immediately dividing us. So it's even more ironic when your closing message is vote for me because the other guy is dividing us. Well, you've immediately divided us with that message. You know what I mean? Instead of talking about how you're going to bring us together. She immediately, and that's all she's got. She has to make this entire campaign about Donald Trump. I don't think it's working because I think that this campaign is actually about the disaster of her administration and the economy. But what's interesting about this campaign in particular is that you've seen Trump's closing ad. You've seen Kamala Harris's closing ad. What's really interesting is that there's another candidate out there who has come out with their own ad. And it's a candidate who is very much a part of this election, even though he's already dropped out of the race and he's endorsed Donald Trump. I'm talking about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And his ad, even though he's not actually an active candidate, even though he appears on a couple of ballots, this may be the strongest closing argument on behalf of Donald Trump delivered from Mr. Kennedy.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we, the people, choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
The sweet emotion raining all over me.
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
American rock and roll. American rock and roll.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
American rock and roll.
I'm sorry. I love this country so much. And I'm so moved by that kind of presidency. I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. And the contrast there, it's funny. The Kamala Harris people will say that their ad that you just saw, that you saw before this one, is all about unity, about bringing our country together. But see, she couldn't do it without pointing the finger at the guy who's the problem, right? And then that ad, without even saying it, that ad is all about unity. You've got high-profile Democrats. You've got diversity. You've got people of various ethnic origins and backgrounds. You've got people of various economic stratas. They're all coming together around this idea. And, you know, come on, could we just get to tomorrow night and get through this? And could you guys please get out there? If you haven't already voted, make sure you vote. And for God's sake, get as many people in your life out there voting as well. And let's get this done, because what you just saw in that ad coming from the Kennedy campaign on behalf of Trump, what you just saw, that's possible. We could be that. That is exactly where we could be. We just got to win this thing tomorrow. We just got to win. You know, there's a lot at stake in this upcoming election. Regardless of who's sitting in the White House, the fuse in the economy has already been lit. 4 years of a conservative presidency is probably not going to be enough to turn the tide of our $35 trillion national debt. It's going to take a few conservative presidencies to really make a difference there. And if the left wins this time around, forget about it. It's like throwing gas on an already blazing dumpster fire. You don't have a whole lot of control over the election's outcome. You're probably feeling somewhat frustrated about that. That's all right. Control what you can control. You can diversify your savings right now by investing in gold from Birch Gold. For millennia, gold has stood firm in the face of greedy governments, economic upheavals, and global strife, and it can help protect you right now. Birch Gold will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold, and it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. In the past 4 years, the buying power of the U.S. dollar has declined while the price of gold has increased by 40%. You think that's a coincidence? Text Larry to 989898 right now. Get your free info kit on gold. Trust Birch Gold to protect your savings. Text Larry to 989898 today.